Welcome back to Cali Noir. We're doing a movie review, and it's two movies that I've been wanting to review for a while. So I was like, let me hurry up and do these movie reviews, and let me know in the comments below if you already seen these movies. One is called, I should have this together, Master, and it's on Prime. If you have Prime, you can watch it for free. It's on Amazon. Pretty much everybody have Amazon, but it's called Master, and it stars Regina Hall and a newcomer. Her name is Zoe Renee, and I think this is a must see. I haven't really heard it came back a little while ago, so this is a late movie review, but I think it's worth watching. And the whole plot is this school in New England, this elite university, elects its first black madam president of the school, the first black master, which is stars Regina Hall, and it has a black student by the name of Jasmine, played by Zoe Renee, which is a newcomer. And she is attending the university, but while she's there, she's actually being haunted by the first black student at the university in the 60s. And that student died by hanging. So it's like a supernatural, it's a horror type of thriller type of movie. I thought it was really good. I think it's a must see, especially what's going on today, where the topic of racism and how, although it was an all-white institution, I think eventually in the movie, Regina Hall was also being haunted by supernatural type of spirits or power. And she only had one so-called ally named Liv, who was a black professor at this school trying to get tenure. I think it's a must-see because it talks about so many racism topics, about the diversity, what schools try to do when they just elect just a token black person. Also how they might have a token and they might give them a position, but they really don't have power. And you saw this in this film. Even when she was at meetings, she's the master, but she really didn't enforce her power, or she really didn't have power. She was just like a figurehead, like, a president or something like that. But her and Jasmine was letting her know that all these haunting things were acting, and you could tell she was out of place at this school. It was just so many topics. Being the first and being the only black person, I've definitely experienced that. Not always comfortable. Also, when she was making friends, but they were having her clean up stuff and pay for stuff, and they were well-off, wealthy kids. And then it's like, are they really your friends, or do they see you as like, we feel bad for her, but we still gonna let they still kind of made her like a maid servant and kind of push her to the side. I mean, it's just, this movie is so many topics. Also, I just remember the scene when she would go to lunch, and it was a black woman who was a cafeteria lady, and she was nice to everybody but mean to Jasmine. And you could go back, that's so many topics in itself. Just the kind of self-hatred and the what's it called, crabs in a barrel. Like, was she like an evil spirit that was just mean to her, or was it spirit going around in people being mean to Jasmine, or was it like she was jealous because Jasmine was a student and she was a cafeteria lady? You just don't know why. I don't know. It was just whole, that was the whole, to me, that registered to me, because sometimes in our own community, we could be our worst enemies to each other. It's just like, okay, don't be a hater. We should support one another. But Yeah, the whole thriller, Jasmine was asking for help and all these mysterious things were happening. Um, it wasn't too scary for, in my opinion, because I was able to handle it because I don't like horror as a film, but it was more of a psychological thriller. It was just so many topics that I talk about all the time, you know, being a black woman or a black man at a, especially an all white institution. um so many things, and sometimes you're like, am I just being overly sensitive or did this really happen? But yeah, um I'm you should go watch it, but it was really deep, and it was really sad at the end. Jasmine ended up dying by hanging herself, or it could be an evil spirit there haunting her, that college. um so the student died, and Regina, she really tried hard to help her because Jasmine was getting bad grades and she was an excellent student. And then the person that was giving her bad grades was a black woman professor. And coming to find out, like, they live near a Amish type of community. So the lady was just like, Liv is not really a black woman. She's white. She's lying. Yeah, it was crazy. So I mean, that was a whole. I mean, I already talked about the black on black, but that was just crazy. Like, the woman was saying, like, Liz is really white. This is who she is, but she was cursed by the devil, and now she's black, and saying her father is black. That's not her true identity. I mean, the movie, that part was kind of all over the place. But was she like a Rachel Dolezal, you know, trying to pass? I don't know. She could. Regina King confronted her because that was her only friend during this lonely time. And it just shows two black women who are in this environment trying to survive and trying to thrive and constantly being challenged, you know, challenged for who they are. Just trying, looking for acceptance and question, like, their intelligence is questioned, their authority is questioned. And it's a good movie to talk about with people who have been through that. And it's not easy being the first, being the only. I've definitely been the only in a classroom, and it was not fun. That's why I was like, I need to go to a black college because it's not fun being the only or not many. It takes a lot of it. I mean, it does challenges your self-esteem. I talk to coworkers and friends who've been through it, and we share stories, and even not Instagram, TikTok, different black women I saw, even black men who were just like, I'm not the token anymore. You know, there were environments, whether it was church or school, and just how you do have to kind of give up your identity as a black person to fit in and to try to fit the mold. So this is a real thing, and it's psychologically, it does affect you. And watching this, I had so many stories come flushing back and rushing back. I think it was a good thriller, psychological thriller that a lot of black people can relate to. So I say it's a much watching. At the end of the movie, Regina King ended up resigning because even on the campus, she's the master, but people still saw her as a maid. And I think after the death of Jasmine was traumatizing to her, the student, the only black student, she resigned. And I think that was a good ending, that no matter what we do, you know, like, we had the first black president in the United States. No matter what, like, how many steps we try to move forward, or we think by having a black figure moves forward, like, the representation is amazing, but does it really change anything? Even Obama, like, I love him. I was in DC at the time he was there. It was so inspiring to see, like, despite everything he went through, like, he was a man of character, because they just hated him just because of skin color, and he held his head high, and he was intelligent. Him and his wife, the most intelligent, probably president and first lady ever, and they did not mutter a word. They were so classy in their clapbacks, and they didn't stoop low to all the people who were so stoop low to them. But even though we make these progress, look at now, the election with Trump, it was just like they were so upset they put him in office just because this country is still very racist. So just saying that, yes, we could be the first of this and that, but does it really change anything? Sometimes I feel like it's just, a lot of jobs just want a token just to say we're diverse so they won't say that they're racism or be called out. But people still don't see them or value them for their intelligence and who they are and what they really could offer. And she just resigned, and I feel like that too. Like, if go where you're appreciated, not tolerated. And I've been the token before, and when I found that out, I was like, deuces, I don't care where it is at. If it's at work, if it's at church, if it's at school, I'm not going to be your spokesperson for the Black community, using me as a token. I'm not. Like, if you don't value me and what I bring to the table, then I'm gone. And that's what this movie illustrated. Like, sometimes you can't stay and fight. Sometimes you have to leave to protect your mental health and your sanity. And if that's going to make you feel better, then leave, because some people and their ideas and whatever are rotten to the core. So you can't stay and fight some ideologies, because, when it's rotten to the core, you can't really fix it. So you should leave. So bye.
Want to hear a harsh truth? Some orgs are not fixable. The dysfunction is so ingrained in their identity that unless you have a leadership team where the majority are on board and are prepared to tear it all down and rebuild it from the ground up, and that includes removing leaders who are problematic to progress. Too many people benefit from the dysfunction, and so there's no incentive for them to change.